My name is Mikey,
It's me. My name is Kavi, aka Kavan, aka Kavasier, aka
and we are
Kitty.
back with Geek Motherfucking Podcast.
Ba, ba,
What's
ba.
up?
Long
Hey,
time, long,
2018,
long
long,
time, long, long time, long time no see.
long, 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 whoa, 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 long as I got you, long as I got you. No, okay. But anyways, y'all, welcome back. And for those who are new, thank you for visiting. Geek Podcast is the entertainment hub, the home of everything we refer to as game geeky. We bring the vibes, we bring our opinions, we bring just greatness, we bring immaculateness, and that's not a word, but that's going to be today. If Cam Newton can make up a word, so can we. And
Come on,
we
Immaculateness and
are
Eclecta.
here. I was gonna say Eclecta. We bring the
We all
Eclecta.
that.
How have you been, Savani? How have you been, Caddy D?
Um, Existing in the context in which I came from, as best as I can summarize it up. I know the last episode. What was our last episode? Was it my interview that I did
Yes, we did Morpheus.
with Amorphous? Yeah, that was like the last episode, which is crazy to like end it off for like a hiatus, seeing as like his career and everything has like blown up and stuff. So like in between that though, I moved. I was in Baltimore. I was a city girl, and now I'm back to a small town girl in a Western world.
It's
Living
giving
in
Lifetime movie. It's giving me
yes,
rom-com.
it's really giving rom-com, probably straight to Tubi because I don't think any of the big places are going to fund a Black queer story. But anyways, outside of that though, yeah, no, I have been working, trying to juggle everything that I can, being in my 20 somethings all alone still. Not a thing in my name, but I'm working towards it. So yeah, I just been kind of working, busting my ass and slowly but surely building up to moments like these to where we can kind of like get back to the groove of things because I missed this. I missed doing a podcast and interviewing people. So yeah, how have you been though, Mr. Mikey?
I have been wonderful. I have been sensational. I've been, oh, I forgot my thing. Sensational. What was cool? I've been very vivacious. Um, I have gotten a hold of my mental health, which is a good thing. So I'm gonna say it's been a long battle, but we are here. We are clear. Um, a doll is medicated. We're medicated. I have
Period.
to give it up for myself. We're medicated. So I would say, but no, just kind of getting back in the swing of things, making big moves, as Cardi B say. Just experiencing the vibes, experiencing whatever concert I can afford because everybody and their mom is going on tour. Speaking of, I would say Ticketmaster and Live Nation is getting sued, but that's for another episode. But yes, I have been well. I have been making life has been giving me lemons, and I've been making ginger ale. So yeah.
Period. Come on, Ginger Lemonade twist.
So today, if you haven't heard already, he kind of well just a little bit. He said interview, but today we are here for somebody special. We have none other than the icon, a legend in the making. This immaculate artist made his debut September 24th of 2022, um, with a song called Someone New, followed by his debut EP called Trilogy, and then Sunk in Place, and then Iber. Phenomenal artist, and we are here to talk about the single because I'm pretty sure y'all heard it because we don't put out one to bad stuff. So I'm pretty sure y'all heard
Get up, get up, get up, get up.
it. Give it up for Miles Jackson, aka Jameson.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, how are
Hey,
you?
what's goody? What's goody? What's goody? Thanks y'all for having me.
Thank you for
No
coming.
problem. Yes, thank you so much for coming, especially being our first, not only episode back, but first interview as well.
I'm so
So,
honored. Oh, my aspirations in life. Well, no, but like that, it's so exciting. I'm so excited to do this because it's been a long time coming. I feel like I've been For all that know me, my name is Miles, but I go by Jameson. It's my stage name. Been doing this for like 3 years now, but this year is special because I have new music coming out. I'm coming with a buffet with food, and I'm just so excited to share this new music because, yeah, y'all gonna love it. I'm ready to talk about it.
And I'm ready to eat. I'm so ready to eat.
Oh
I
yeah,
brought
I've been
I brought
eating.
my
Half of my
bib.
plate's already gone.
I brought my bib. I brought my fork. I brought my spoon. Fucking nice. We're tearing medieval shit. So speaking of Jameson, how did you come up with the name? Who is Jameson? Who is D. Miles Jackson? What
Hmm.
pushed you to pursue the journey as Jameson?
It's the journey.
but yeah, I
It's the journey.
literally like it took a while to find the name because I wanted it to be, unique. I think with all my music, I try to always have just a unique flair on it. I do like to have a mainstream, undertone with all of my releases, but I do like to be left to center a lot of times with a lot of the stuff that I release. So the name had to give something different, like it's unique, but also kind of still familiar. So Jameson is my middle name. That's where it comes from, but it's spelled differently. So like it's usually Jameson, but I changed it to a Y because I wanted my first name to be involved in it as well. Because my first name is Miles and
See what you did there with
YLES. You see
the
how I did there? You see what I did there?
yeah,
You see what I did there?
yeah.
But I think I really like that I changed it to a Y, particularly because of that uniqueness that I spoke about. That's the unique spelling of Miles. And I think that's really what my mom, she chose that name for me and my parents, obviously. But like they chose that Y because it's unique. So I think that is the uniqueness of like my name, and I wanted to keep that integral in my art as well. So having that Y makes it unique. It's not just the regular spelling of Jameson; it's a little atypical, and I wanted to kind of carry that through with my music. So I like that it's unique and it's one word. All great artists only have one word. That's usually how it goes. The Chers, the Beyoncés, the Tylers. Let's call them all out. Rihanna's.
I'm already
There's some
anticipating
men in there somewhere. I
homecoming.
can't think of them right now because they're not memorable. But there are some men in there as well. But yeah, I feel like the people with one name it just sticks better. So that's why I chose
It
It
Jameson.
is.
does. Rolls off the
It is.
tongue.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Very mysterious and
Who are you,
ethereal.
Jameson?
Exactly. You see how easy that was? Jameson.
Right. And there it is.
Tyler.
Because you really
Tyler.
could be like these other artists that's like XAEO double two times.
XJ9606. Crazy shit. No, but literally
Don't
though,
shade to those
like
artists though.
Second,
But so tell us about your new single. You did give us a little bit of taste. I ended up having
mhm.
more than a taste and decided to just chuck the whole plate in my throat because that's how good it was. But yeah, tell us about your new single. What was the inspiration behind it, and why, out of all the songs, that you did make for this new project, why this one?
Yeah, so I mean, my music, for people who don't know, like I do classify myself as a like electronic artist. My main inspirations, I would say, are probably like Kalela, Tinashe, Frank Ocean, Khalid, Destin Conrad. Like I like to give a good fusion of like alternative R&B with a mix of like some pop elements, but also like that electronic sound. And there have been a lot of recent albums that have really like inspired me. Thinking of like Renaissance for sure. FKA Twigs' new project's really good. Tinashe's BB Angel and Quantum Baby, peak. So fucking good.
Here. Top
Like
tier.
just good as shit. So like I feel like a lot of that like the dance elements in those projects have really like inspired me to like really lean into that. I've touched on some stuff in my previous work, but this one feels like a unique like approach to it where it does fuse that genre bending. So I really wanted the lead single to kind of emulate what the rest of the project will give while still giving its own, lead single taste. Lead single usually has to be the most marketable, like the most, GP friendly. So you do get that taste with it. I feel like, if I had to put it and classify it with another artist, it's giving like Pink Panthers, and she's really hot right now, and we love her music. So it's fun, it's upbeat, and I really like to make sure that, all my music is engaging, it's interesting, it is like gonna keep you captivated the entire way from 0 0 to the last second. And that was really a big intention for this project. Each song has that. But I think with this one in particular, it really keeps you on your toes from the start to the finish. And you're going to be dancing, you're going to be moving. And I like this one
Delicious.
also because of the message. I think the message also really gives that duality that I love to do with my work. I like to have, a lot of upbeat or just like fun production choices, but then also give messaging that is pretty like, layered. It might be, kind of straightforward on the forefront, but once you really dig into the lyrics, There's a lot more in there where it comes like nuancing of like what the song is about and like where the emotion really lies. So I wanted to give something that shows like that duality, and that's how you're gonna feel the entire project through because it's really fun, but it's also really serious and really like heartfelt, really emotional. So I like having that like balance.
Like
What
crying in the
what
club, basically.
We crying in the club. We shaking ass
Okay.
crying in the
too. We're
club?
shaking ass while we're crying while we're doing everything else in between. But yeah,
It's tears flowing down our eyes while the ass is bouncing voraciously,
the tears bounce
while
off
everybody's
that.
like, oh, it's going,
Tears
and then
bouncing off the ass.
it's
Boom,
yeah,
boom,
yeah,
boom, boom, boom.
yeah.
It's
So
given we don't have time to go to the bathroom. We got to fix our makeup right here and continue to shake ass. And
Mid
I fuck
shake.
with it.
God
Mid
damn.
mid
shake.
shake,
Yes.
it's giving. You go to the bathroom to go lock in, and you're just there, and you're trying to lock in. You hear the song, you're just like, actually, we're
It's
locked in
time.
already. It's time. Actually, I'm good.
Ashley, we have
What?
to go. Oh, we
Right.
gotta go?
Oh, now we gotta go.
But no, I was
Sorry,
gonna
what you
say,
saying, Michael?
but yeah, I would say No Name, such an amazing song. I cannot wait to take my ass to this every single day. um, well, for the listeners, I will say, yeah, this is pre-recorded. You already know this. Yeah, I know how podcasts work. But yeah, I cannot wait to take my ass to this every single day. Just know you will be on my Apple Replay by the end of the year. As I say, No Name. I don't know. I just love it so much. I love it so much. And for our listeners here, please tell us what you guys think of No Name. Also, if you listen to No Name and you like No Name, don't forget to interact with artists. Don't forget to follow artists. Don't forget to share with your friends because we love a good shameless plug. And
And
I would
honestly,
say,
with the name of that, like I just feel like everyone has had a no name. I think that was another reason why I wanted to pick this one because it's extremely relatable.
mhm,
As a Black gay man, I feel like we all have like our instances where we want to just shut off our emotions and just be in the moment and not have to think about the feelings involved with interacting with other guys. And that's fun every now and then, but like usually when you're doing that a lot, you can sometimes, get lost in the sauce and don't really engage with people in a way that makes them like a full person. It's kind of just like how they make you feel or like what you want from them in the moment. And that's kind of why it's no name because like in the song I'm talking about how like, there really is just no name to this person. They're just good for them right now. It gets the job done. But that's not, going to help you in the long run. And that's part of the growth process of being, Black and gay, Black and queer. We have to find ourselves, but we also have to engage with people who are also finding themselves. So it's like that's a really challenging thing to do when we haven't really been given that opportunity growing up most times. And I think, it's a level of grace that we can hold that space for that, into that in not insecurity, but just like that shortcoming in our own selves where we're like, romantically or platonically or even sexually. Oh, not really investing in somebody on a full level that we should. And I think that's why everyone has had a no name, and I think the lyrics will really speak to like just that experience in our community.
And so does the music, the sound of it. It definitely gives like just melancholy Jersey Club type of feel of just like it's somber, but in a sense where like you're gonna be sad, but you're not gonna be that sad because you have to shake your ass because this beat's still going. So like, and I appreciate that because it kind of gives that like living in the moment. The delusion is there. However, we're not caring about the delusion just because like this is not what that's about right now. I'll figure that out,
Right.
once I get later down the line type shit. And that's
Right.
that's what I really love about the single. So, oh, I'm so
taking the time
excited.
out the hip or
Oh, my
getting your fuck
puss.
out the hip.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I feel like with Black gay artists, we are sometimes like there's pressure to like fit in a box in terms of like what we talk about in our songs. And I
Mhm.
mean, we have so many good examples of just like different independent artists who are doing it and giving different ranges of. Everyone doesn't have to be a Santana. Everyone ain't got to be a Frank Ocean or like a Lil Nas. They're great in our community. And I really am appreciative for what they stand for, and there should be people who draw inspiration from that. We all should at some level. But
Mhm.
what makes the indie space so important for me is like the freedom to just be yourself, like really tell your own story. I think a lot of times Black gay artists and just Black artists, period, we tend to reheat some nachos. Oh, I'll say it. But like,
Not reheat the nachos.
take the nachos, but like add your own special sauce to it. Like add your own queso. Make your own queso at home. make your own chicken at home. You know what I'm saying? Like make the nachos you. And I think that's really like where the beauty in art is for me is like finding inspiration, but really being able to convert that into my own story and my own soundscape. And as I found my sound through this project, it really was helpful to, find the inspiration, but really understand where I fit in that spectrum of like artistry. So it was really cool to like be able to like make my own sound, honestly, with like these songs.
Let's say it definitely gives me like a good mix of Destin and what's
Mhm.
that artist? I would say kind of like what Kamal said, but Destin in like Jersey. If Destin made a Jersey thing, but I would say he doesn't do that. You do. Let's say
Yes.
so, but the, cause,
Exactly.
ah, Eba.
Iba.
But but no, I was say, but yeah, no, I was say no name. Like I said, we all had our different no names. I've had my fair share. Um, we're gonna get through this. It's like, ain't it? We're gonna get through this. We have no choice, especially being in our especially being in our 20s. We have.
Especially.
Uh,
So, would you say age? I would say, would you, on top of being a black and gay artist, would you say age has a plays a part in it?
you said age.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, because this is, so the project, I'll go ahead and just say it. The project concept, I won't get the title out yet, but the concept is about time. And I think that's really what drove the messaging and the storytelling through all the songs. The sequencing is very important. Do not shuffle this album. Play it in order, please.
Hmm.
But like because
Don't
I say
click
that
shuffle,
intentionally
y'all.
because like there's a story being told, and especially with this project, like this song in particular for the single, it fits within a certain headspace of when I was younger in my
Mm,
mid to the early 20s, and it shows really just kind of how the time capsule of art can really show a chronological growth through time of like how somebody viewed themselves, how they viewed others, how they perceived love, how they what their aspirations and goals were for themselves. And I think for me, it was very important to show all of that growth through when I was just becoming like a baby gay in college, and then moved into grad school, moved over here to the DMV from Florida. Like there were so many different parts of my story that needed to be highlighted and shown through each of these
Hmm.
songs. And I think it would have done a disservice to myself not to be vulnerable and show like different levels of just like my comfortability of myself. When I was younger, I wasn't as secure. So yeah, I was with the no names. But like as you get older, you realize like that's a part of you that you don't ever want to like forget because you grow from it and you really can reflect on it, and the reflection is important for that growth. So I like that with this project. There's a range of how my age has because it is like a coming of age story, that my age has really played a part in how the story has been told. And you can see like the progression of like where the sense of self becomes more secure towards the end of the album. And it's really cool.
okay. So I was gonna say, would you? Okay, so if you had to, because like you said, if you're progressing through the ages, would you? What song from your previous body of work would you say is the same age as No Name or similar to?
Oh, good question. Good question. I'm thinking, let me think. If I had to put a few that meet the same vibe as No Name, Headspace as No Name, probably like Space and Time from my first project. Space and Time is one of those songs where
My
like,
favorite.
oh no, bitch, like people they gloss over that one. I feel like the most popular one from the first project trilogy, obviously, is like Someone New, which was my lead single. People love that one. I love that one. It really did hold like a special place in my heart.
Hmm.
And then also Icy, which is like the first song, which is a very sad heartbreak track, sorrows, sorrows. But
The Love Child.
yeah. But I feel like Space and Time was the first track where I really just kind of like was rebellious and like didn't hold back the the spitefulness that I felt towards men, because I mean it's not hard to do that. But it's just like to channel it into artistic outlet and to do it tastefully while still like really being raw with emotion. I think of like a great example is like "Don't Hurt Yourself" with Beyonce. Like she did not hold the fuck back. She said what the fuck she said, and meant that shit.
You
But it's just
try that
like,
shit again, you gonna lose your life.
oh, why? um, but I like how she did that because it still like was able to tap into an emotion that we don't usually get from women, black women, because we're told that they need to be, demure and like put together and like, or they can only be that. So there's never range with the experience of that emotion. But I do like that I was able to kind of couple that in space and time pretty well because it's like finding my own swag, finding my own, sense of security and like, you got me fucked up, nigga. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? While still being like, I'm the best you're ever gonna get, while still making it melodic, still making it unique. Yeah, but check out Space and Time. And I was rapping on that. It was my first rap ever. I think also experimenting with that rapping was what really kind of made me like comfortable in my own like intonation when it comes to writing. I really take lyrics seriously when it comes to like my songs. So each lyric should be able to evoke an emotion and make a connection with a person when they're listening to it. So in Space and
Right.
Time, I was really intentional about telling a story that anybody
Hmm.
can relate to because we've all had moments where a man has got us fucked up. But even beyond that, just like feeling, underappreciated, feeling undervalued, and wanting to lash out. That may not be the most mature way to do it, but we're all human. We have that emotion. And to not acknowledge that only does us a disservice, like I mentioned earlier. So yeah, I like how I'm able to show ranges of emotion, um, especially with this project, using that same formula, but making it more like cohesive.
So do you feel like your previous bodies of work are more of like a prologue to what is like coming with this new project? Not even this new project, but even like future projects, because you basically kind of explained the growth
Mhm.
of like how your mindset was even while making this music to where you are now. So,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't say it is because my playlists are very vast. I have several inspirations. I don't want to give away what my next project will be, but it will be very sonically different from this one. It just will. I already know what it's going to be. But it's just like I don't ever desire to put myself in a box, and I think it's important for artists to experiment. A great example of this is when Victoria Monet she dropped all of her different EPs before Jaguar. Shout out to Victoria, but it's just like she just
uh,
shows that you don't have to sit in one lane and like do it and like have like an EP. An EP can just be an EP. Like a lot of artists do that, who have range and who have artistic, versatility. They're able to like drop an EP and then that just be it. They're experimenting and dabbling in a sound. They may take some things from that EP and carry it over, but it really can just be its own like thing. I personally just feel like Trilogy, the space, the Sunken Place, and Ever were all their own unique outlets for myself. They were all things where I was just like trying to tap into like different artists that I've loved to do, or that I love from the past, but just wanting to do a similar sound. But I feel like they don't necessarily fit like my overall artistic sound. But I appreciate it for myself. I like not having one specific lane. I think that's important for artists because like the minute you pigeonhole yourself into one sound, you do become stagnant. I think it's important just to really have varied tastes, varied approaches. So they definitely are inspired. Like the growth from my previous projects helped with this project, with songwriting for sure, melodic structures, vocal layering, vocal production, production choices. Like I figured out what was best from all those different trial and errors to like refine it in this album. But I wouldn't say that it's like a precursor of like, oh, well, it's gonna sound like this song. It won't. You're gonna get it 12 times.
It's
as
it's
we
it's
should.
it's a
Yeah.
renaissance. It's a renaissance.
Yeah, yeah.
Literally. And I appreciate that genuinely, just because, especially as an indie artist, that kind of gives you that room to test different sounds out, to really push yourself versus being under a label where sometimes, I won't say like all the time, but sometimes they want you to stick to that lane that has been the most successful or that
Yep.
gets the most like revenue, whatever the case is. And that's honestly what sometimes stunts artists. That's honestly what make them kind of stay in their lane. Like I feel like Bruno Mars is a perfect example just because his new album, as great as that man is, and I love him down. I know
I
they
didn't stream it.
his fans. You said what?
I didn't stream it. I was not gagging.
See, and as much as his stands might eat me up, it's still I say what I said when I do say that like it's the same. It is the same music that I heard when I heard Leave the Door Open. It's the same that I heard when I heard Locked Out of Heaven. And it's like those songs, it doesn't take away from those songs being great, but it does more so speaks to how it seems as though he has to stay in this lane to make it more marketable. It sounds more like for
Mhm.
commercials, more for when you're out and about in the city and they're playing it outside. Like it's not for something where it sounds like, wow, he's really pushing himself. Wow, he's really like doing his
Yep.
big one while still kind of maybe staying in a lane, but
Mhm.
this lane is something that he's made as his. And that's not the case for you, and I love that.
I mean,
So,
I will say it's hard. I feel like as I've created more music, I do give more grace for actual artists now, the people who are just TikTok famous. Not everybody's TikTok famous who's like this, but I feel like there is a very clear distinction between people who are doing artist development and people who are not. You can very clearly see it. But there it's a challenge to like create something that is GP friendly, but while still experimenting.
mhm.
This song, like No Name in particular, is a great example of that because I would say it is like there's maybe a few other ones that people will really kind of gravitate to for like a GP type sound, but I love to experiment, and I think that was a hard balance to find in my previous work where like some songs were like, okay, this is very out there, and like it sounds good, but like people are not going to listen to it because it doesn't sound like what people usually listen to. And like
Yeah.
that's okay, but I also had to find a good balance of like, okay, let's make this more palatable for the masses while still
Mhm.
keeping what I like about music, which is finding unique drums and synths and different sounds in the background and like making my vocal stacks a little different and unique melody choices. Like I did still try to keep that at the forefront, but there is a good balance of that. And unfortunately, with streaming, which to your point, like the songs that we love from him, which if he's using him as an example, from
Mhm.
like Doo-Wops and Melody, I think isn't the name of the album Doo-Wops and Melodies, Doo-Wops and Hymns,
Yeah.
I
Doo-Wops
don't
and Negro
know.
Do
Spirituals.
something.
Yeah,
Do
that
or something.
is that one. That one. Anyways, but yeah. But it's like that was like before streaming was huge, and then we got 24 Karat Magic, which blew up. And that
Definitely.
unfortunately, because it was such a commercial hit and Academy hit, like it got him Grammys and shit. Like I think that's where the money was. And he's under a label, so he had to make what will make him money. You know? I
Hmm.
mean, and that's he does still experiment, but I don't think it's as ranged anymore because he knows what people will like. Another great example is like Adele. I feel like Adele, she's another example of that where like she doesn't really have to try much different stuff. Now she's a different one because she can sing and it's always gonna sound good. But I don't think that she really experiments
100%.
like she could because she knows that ballads are her lane, and that's gonna make her the money. That's gonna bring in the coin. She's gonna get the Grammy noms
Hmm.
from doing her ballads, and she does,
Hmm.
and they're done well. Nothing wrong with that intrinsically, but it is like if you are an artist that wants to break down boundaries, it's all about what you want to do as an artist. You know what I mean? There are artists who are very solid artists within their genre, and we need those. But we also need people who are, boundary breakers. My girl FK Twigs, I will always give her a 10. She is one of my main inspirations for this project. And I will always sing her praises. Because you sexua, like
Okay.
it won the Grammy for a
A
reason.
good
Like
album.
it's just so well done, well thought out, production wise, thematically, aesthetically, visually. Everything about the project is so meticulous, while still having a GP angle. Like she still has plenty of songs that could be played in any club, that could be played on the radio, and it's still extremely experimental. And it's like
Hmm.
and it can fit in several different genres. She has electronic songs, she has pop songs, she has some R&B tracks on there, striptease, beats. But you know what I'm saying? Like she has songs that are like for different avenues, and I think that's what I really pulled from that project. Tinashe's another good example, and Kalela. They all do it very well of
They
like
do.
finding that middle ground of like marketability while still being very unique.
So I would say with what you said about breaking boundaries, well, some artists may break boundaries. What is the boundary that you're trying to break?
I think just for just showing, and I talked about it earlier, but just like showing range for Black gay men. I think that we tend to just really want to have this tough exterior when it comes to music, and I think I really want to just show not necessarily a softer side, but just like a more nuanced side of just like how we evoke emotion. Like, yes, there is there are levels to just like the aggression and like the rage that I'm showing in some songs, but I really do want to pull it back and show people like, that there's heartbreak, there's there's breakup music. There's internal struggles. Like there's weakness. There's like I think sometimes we as Black men, period, just like
Mm.
shy away from wanting to be viewed as weak or just like imperfect or not good enough. And that stems from the patriarchy. Hello, let's call a thing a thing. But it's just like that is the pressure that we face, and we have a double portion of that being Black and a man because we are already hypermasculized in society.
Okay.
We are already viewed as like just not ever willing to just like really strip back and be vulnerable. And I think I also shied away from that in my music by not making my music personal. So the boundary that I really want to break, and I think there are a lot of good artists doing it now, like Destiny's a great example, who show like the full spectrum of what it means to be Black and gay. And I think
Yes.
that is something that I want more people to do in our community because we aren't just this monolith that we just all just, you know, go to orgies and fuck on each other and we fighting and we do that. Nah, we do that, but we don't all
But
do
see,
that
see,
all the
we
time.
deal with the
Like you know what I'm
freaking,
saying? Like
but
we
that's
we
on
have
volume two.
right, right. But like you know what I'm saying? Like we can have a both and situation where it's like we can leave space for that, but we need to also create space for more introspective music. And I think that that's something that I have not really seen for myself. I know that it exists, but not as much as I'd like to see it. So I wanted to give my own contribution to that. And I think that's what will be interesting for this project because it is still like engaging. You still have music for different types of sounds, but you still will get to be able to like read those lyrics and understand like, whoa, like I see myself in this. Even though
Mhm.
it may not be like their exact journey, like the sentiments, the emotions, like where I'm coming from, the perspective. We've all been little Black gay boys who have had the challenge of like being ourselves and being truly ourselves. And I think that's really the message throughout all of this is just finding comfortability and safety within yourself, versus trying to find that validation through other people.
hmm While pushing boundaries, and I think you're doing that.
Well, they got. I'm
Yeah,
trying.
not
Period.
trying, succeeding.
Oh yeah, that too.
We are we are succeeding. You're not trying, you're succeeding. Um,
I'm
but
succeeding.
I will
Exactly.
say,
There we go. Yeah.
I'll say with this, I'll say, how long have you been sitting on this project? The
Oh, it's
people,
this.
me being me, the people being me, how long have you been sitting on this project?
Yeah, like I started making this 2024. So it's
Okay.
been 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the last track was mixed and mastered at top of this
Man,
year.
you've been pregnant for a
So
long time.
yeah, child. Yeah, a lot of revisions. But I know my engineer's tired of me, child. Shout out to Garrett. But yeah, no, he's a real one. Like he's been working with me for like 3 years now, and I think I mentioned this before, but like each of my last releases, like I did spend a good amount of time on them, but I was releasing a project like every year for a minute, like 2021 or 2022, 2023, and 2024. I was dropping music like back to back to back, and I don't think I ever gave myself enough time to really like live in between those projects and like I had ideas and I was like, oh, I want to do something like this and I want to do something like this, but it was never really inspired by like my personal life, and I had to sit with that. And as part of my own personal artist development of just like seeing like, okay, well, this is all fine and dandy, but like, where is your connection to this music? And I had connection to my previous work, but not in the same way that I have it with this album. Like, this is obviously my most personal project, so it did take more time for me to make. And with that, in that same vein, I also really wanted to really fine tune the production. Like that's where honestly, between production and recording and mixing and mastering, I guess that's most of it. But the writing actually was
Yeah.
pretty. Once I got into the groove of like what the project was going to be about, like the concept and like what each song was going to be, the writing actually was pretty simple. But
hmm
yeah, like the production, I was really, really a stickler on that. And I worked with other producers that I used to work with in the past for other projects. But this time around, instead of just like, using beats they already made, I sat with them and I gave them inspo. I was like, okay, I want to make a custom beat for this song, for this specific message. I have these types of songs I want you to draw inspiration from and make a beat like this. Then we would get a draft, and then I would like, okay, let's tweak it here, let's tweak it here. At 43 seconds, add a synth here, add a snare here, let's add a crescendo into
The
this. We need
artist
a
about
new
their
element
words.
into verse two. You know what I'm saying?
Give
We
it
need a
earth
we need a we need a
time.
climax. We need a build up in the second pre-chorus to get to the next climax. So it's like I was adding all these things in the production with the intent of like how my voice would fit in the song and what the song would need to sound like in the final product. So like that took a lot of time just to really nail down. And then on the back end, after recording, I did spend like 6 hours per song in studio, like
Hmm.
recording each song, and that's the most I've ever done for any song, just to really, really, really fine tune my vocal production, my delivery, um, every bit of vocal layering, my intonation, all that's very important. Which
What's
is
that
like,
lotto mean?
yeah, like you, Nikki, stop. But you know what I mean. So it's like, I was just very methodical this time around because I knew the vision that I felt 2 years ago. I was like, the minute I clocked what the concept would be and like the world that I was building, in the same vein of like a Eusexual or like a Renaissance or like those two are really good examples. But just like you're not just listening to a project, you're like being introduced to like a sonic world that the artist has built that you can
An
like
era.
yeah, like because I mean honestly that's how it should be. I feel as though, you know, a lot of artists really just put a bunch of singles together and make that an album, which I mean there's nothing wrong with that intrinsically. However, a body of work to me, especially as a debut project, it should feel like very personal. It should feel very cohesive. It should feel very comprehensive. So I didn't want to leave anything on the table. I wanted to make sure that everything felt impactful, intentional, and complete. So,
Hmm.
you know, in some of my previous songs, I did leave some stuff. I was like, eh, I could go back and re-record that, but you know, and I just kind of let it be that. But this time around, I was like, no, we need to go re-record that. Let's fix that.
Let's get back in the stew.
Yeah, what
Turn
Beyonce
that.
said. There is no
Which
reason to apply more notes if the ones I've given have not been applied. Like it was giving that. So like I was really very intentional this time around. So you'll be able to hear it for sure.
So I actually had a piggyback question off of what you were talking about as far as like how your process is when it comes to making music, especially a song
Mhm.
from scratch. So do
Mhm.
you find the melody first or lyrics first? Like what comes first when you are making a song from scratch?
So this is actually very interesting. I feel like my approach is it's just different. So like I will I'm always drawn to like there's always like the debate of like are you drawn to lyrics or sound in a song? I'm always drawn to sound. Like that is just I feel like you know
The sound does
right.
it. The sound
And
will
I mean
always it does it. Yeah.
obviously once I'm drawn to the sound, I will then read the lyrics. Now I'm not great with lyrics. So I'm gonna tell you that right now. I know my lyrics. But yeah, I don't tell me to sing some random song off Ariana Grande's project. I'm sorry, I don't know the words. I'll hum the melody because I'm drawn to the sound.
Alive.
Listen, now Sweetener's different. I like Sweetener.
Okay, okay, okay.
But like you know what I'm saying. Like I feel like I don't. I'm not just sitting with lyrics all the time. I feel like you can evoke so much with just sound. Like that music and sound is such a universal experience when it comes to like humans. So I feel like the sound is what draws me. And then once I have the sound, funny enough, I then lock down a song title. Like I will
Okay.
name the song before I even write it.
Okay.
I actually have like well, actually five of my tracks on my deluxe named, but I have not written any of them yet. There's a deluxe, but yeah. Anyways, but yeah. Right. But I
Allegedly,
feel like,
allegedly, allegedly.
right.
Allegedly.
But yeah, like I feel like that is where I start, build out the concept, and then from there I like am telling the story through lyrics. And one thing I have done differently this time around, I used to just sit and just write a song in one setting in one session, and like sure that's good, but I have now done a lot more like popcorn writing where it's like if I have an idea or a melody and I just like have an idea for just like one line, I don't just like let that go anymore. I record that like in the moment. Okay, like write that down. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna forget it. But I like that it just whenever it naturally comes to me. And there were moments in the studio where I did the same thing where it was like I'm making melodies on the spot. I'm making like I made some bridges on the spot. I made some verses on the spot because I just feel like that is just organically how you for me at least, how I will find lyrics. I can't just like do it in a vacuum without the melody. So the sound is always first, and then the words will come to me because I know what the song's gonna be about. It's just a matter of making it one catchy, which is very hard. People do not give people enough credit for songwriters who make shit catchy. That shit is
It's
not
hard.
good. It's not
It's
Mhm.
hard.
to make it catchy and not corny. That is so difficult. um, so I think that was like the main challenge for me with this project was like making it catchy, making it unique, making it melodically pleasing, but also making it unique, which is like, bitch, I'm only one person. So, yeah.
Okay, so you usually kind of like freestyle your lyrics as you're like kind of going through the production part of
Yeah, like
it?
I'll have
Or
ideas
like,
for lyrics, but like then I'll just like sit with the beat for like a day,
okay,
and I'll just
okay.
be like humming melody, like I'll hear a melody like and like I'll just hear it, and then I'll just like put words
He'd
to
be
that
like, "Yep,
melody. Yeah,
Yeah.
in real
So yeah, I
time.
heard that he doesn't have a ghostwriter.
Well, no, it's fully
So
written by me.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And honestly, I feel like that's fun. I feel like the more I do it, like the beforehand, writing used to be like a kind of a chore. I was like, oh, I gotta write a song. But
Hmm.
now, like the more I do it, I really enjoy it. Like most of my stuff is written by me. So like this project is fully written by me, and I think because I was in the same headspace for all my songs, it was very easy to do. Like that's why I was saying like
Yeah.
production and recording for the most time. Writing actually was not that hard because I was able to just kind of be in a flow state through most of the project and being in the same
mm,
like, okay, this song's gonna be talking about this. Then we're gonna grow a little bit. We're gonna go here. Then we're gonna navigate here. Then we're gonna talk about this because we just talked about this. We're gonna pull one lyric from here and make it the through line here. And then we're gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like I was able to kind of piece it together because it is
different areas,"
Yeah.
and then put it to
right.
like the Legos.
Right. No, literally though. So like that's kind of like my approach. And I do want to just like be more unconventional with my writing. So I think for these next songs, whenever I get around to them, like the way that I write them will be much more free, not free verse, but just like I think not being stuck on the whole like needing it to rhyme. Exactly. You know what I mean? I think that's a prison that a lot of artists put themselves in of needing it to rhyme. Um, and I it don't always need to rhyme. And I learned that this project.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like not exactly. You can have some wiggle room with that. So I've learned to just kind of like be more intentional with the story that's being told versus just like needing to be like, hey baby, I want you to see me. You know what I
hmm.
mean? Meet me under the tree. Like we don't need to give all that. You know what I'm saying?
100%. I feel like SZA gave a huge masterclass
Yes.
in how you can still make a cohesive song and none of them fucking words have to rhyme. Like
Right.
I go back to Control and I'm just like, bitch, you're writing a poem, like this is just a dissertation. This is not even like a poem or like a rhymey thing. She
No,
just is like
literally.
it's like
That's
spoken
insane.
word, but it still fucking
Literally.
works. So like
Hmm.
I completely feel you on that. But actually piggybacking off of like SZA and other artists like that. If you had the opportunity, what artists would you want to be featured on this project, or would you feel like would be
Oh,
like the
bitch.
perfect person?
Uh,
Like,
there are so many good
Who
options.
you put on the
There are so many
single?
good
no, there
options. Like,
is.
um,
Okay, who would you put on the single?
well,
Yes.
on this single,
Mm-hmm.
um, that's a good question. I hadn't thought
Mm-hmm.
about that. Please. Let me think. I mean, honestly, because it is just so inspired by Miss Pinky, I would actually love to hear her on this. Like, I think that would be really cool to see her take on, you
I
know,
would eat.
yeah, like I think just like see because it would be like the flip side of that of like the male on male perspective, and then you have the female on male perspective of just like seeing like how it's still the same concept because you could easily make that about like a woman's perspective in the same way. But it's like that would be cool because she already kind of fits that same archetype of sound. So I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be really fun actually. But
I
in
just
general, I feel like just general features, Destin Conrad. No shade. Like, I mean, hello. Like he has carved out a lane
Period.
within alternative R&B that like was so needed. Like so needed. And I feel like it's just so refreshing to see his growth and his
hmm
experimentation. Shout out to Whimsy.
hmm
Because bitch, there's really not another mainstream black gay artist doing it like him right now. I'll say it. And I think that he has so much range and so much more like there's so much potential with his growth because he only has one project out or two projects out, and they really can carry him. And he has not set a box for himself. He can easily go in
hmm
different lanes. And I would love to experiment on some like R&B fusion type shit with him. That'd be great. I also would love to see something with Khalid. Khalid also has been a really big vocal
Mm.
inspiration. I feel like we have very similar voices. So I
Mm.
think our voices would sound really good on that track together. And then maybe one more I'm thinking. I'd love to collab with Billy. Me and Billie Eilish. That I am claiming
Mm.
that like that. That's my girl.
You're mine. You're
Yeah,
mine.
I feel like a lot of my like intonation and my delivery, when it comes to like how I sing on tracks is inspired by her, just because of just how unique she is with her voice. It's just like people say she can't. She's just whispering and shit. Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like such a good vocalist, and it's just like so unfortunate that people don't give her the credit she deserves when it comes to that because there's so much intention with how she like her delivery, her like, and we saw that very clearly on her last project, Can Be Hard and Soft. So us doing a soft rock ballad situation together, yeah, I need that
I will be
actually.
here for that.
I need that actually.
Actually, that will go triple platinum in my house. I'm just letting
I
you
would
know.
need that.
I yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I can also see something with Serpent with Feet too, because I feel like Serpent with Feet is one of
Yeah.
those type
Hmm.
of artists where
Mm,
he's very,
Yeah.
very like
I
different
love
and
him.
unique with his sound and stuff. So I can definitely see that. You
'cause I
know
really did
what?
like. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
kind of like Damn Gloves. Damn Gloves was a really good song, but also
Yes.
the funk remix that he did for that. Oh, that I would say that ate. So I could definitely that type those two type of sounds from that, but also in general, I don't know. I can kind of see it where you're telling the story and he's like the there we go. You're the storyteller. He's the speaker. If that makes any sense.
Hmm. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I see it. I see it. Yeah. I love his song with Destin on his project Offside. Still, that's probably my favorite song off of Love on Digital.
Offside is such a good
I
song.
love that song.
Amazing. Top five off that album to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like that, and I love that that sound is just like I love that it's growing. I just want to see it grow more, and I want to be a part of it. I want parts. Throw me in the ring, coach.
I think we all want parts of
Yeah, well,
You
you
are
parts.
Yeah.
you are having your parts.
Mhm.
You've thrown your coin purse in there. Next thing is just to have a Telfar bag thrown in there.
Throw the whole Birkin in there,
Got
bitch.
it. The whole Birkin, you just got to keep
Right?
Berkiana.
tossing it in there. They're
No,
gonna fill it
literally.
up.
No, literally. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're going to get to the large one so that way, because that's a big hefty one too. We're going to get to the large one. Throw it in there.
All
Yeah,
right. Multiple
Yeah,
bags. Throw them all in
yeah.
there.
multiple bags, multiple colors.
But yeah,
Speaking of
but I don't
colors,
know.
speaking
It's
of
just like
shit.
it's just such a it's such a good place for R and B right now. People who are like R and B's dead, like bitch, shut up,
No, it's not.
shut up. Like R and B's not
It's not
dead.
dead.
It's not even remotely dead. Like it's just so versatile right now. I think people are just so. And I was hesitant to
Just
say
look at
this.
their reverse it.
I was hesitant to say
Sorry.
this because I'm like I don't know. People like on stone me. I just feel like our community is just so just bogged down in nostalgia. We're just not willing to accept new or like anything like traditional, like non-traditional. Like I just feel like the traditional R&B sound that was popular in the '90s, 2000s, like yes, it's a staple and we need that to like grow from.
Hmm.
But it's time to
Hmm.
grow and develop. Like we are 30 years from that. Like it's time to find the next wave of sound in R&B. Like it's cool to still have traditional R&B artists, and we do need those. But like, we also need growth. We need to advance the genre. I feel like that's why there are certain artists who just don't get the same shine because people are just so hesitant to like want a new sound that's not, the traditional shit they're used to. When that music still exists, you can go stream the music. It has not gone anywhere.
Hmm.
Like you
Hmm.
can
It's
still
not
go listen
going
to
anywhere.
Destiny's Child. You can still listen to anything that's from the early 2000s. It's not
Apple
going anywhere.
Music, Spotify, Tidal, it's all right there. You
It's
can,
there.
if you want, you can still buy it. It's not going nowhere.
Literally,
It's
literally.
never really forcing anybody to not listen to it.
No. Yeah. I don't know.
So, but yeah, I was gonna say but speaking of different artists, in a sense, artists are all different characters their music are characters. Well, they're characters of their music,
Hmm.
and the way we read about them is listening to them. So to kind of tie it all in, if whether you know it through a movie or through a comic, and if you don't know them, make that character. What
Mm.
would No Name look like as a what character would you say is No Name, or what if you had to
Mm.
create one? What would No Name? What would his powers be? What's his origin?
I'm
Hmm.
thinking, I mean, I'm an anime girly, so I'm probably gonna pull from an anime.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just trying to think of like which universe makes the most sense for No Name. It's a hard one. I feel like there are so many good examples of just like, huh.
All right.
For
All
some reason, I'm thinking Soul Eater. I don't know why Soul Eater came to mind. Like that's just the first world that just made sense to me. And I'm thinking like Black Star. I don't know why Black Star is just like that's the one that comes to me. He just is so like energetic and like in your face and just like y'all familiar with that anime?
yeah.
Okay,
say,
period.
literally, I was gonna say, in your fucking face, I was gonna say, it's just like, hey, it's just
Yeah,
like,
just
you
like
can't not
he
listen
just
to
talks
me.
his shit and knows who he is and just like doesn't give a fuck. And like
Mhm.
that's really the essence of what No Name is. Like just knowing who the fuck you are and not giving a fuck. Like, yeah. So I feel like that's a really good example.
Okay. This makes me want to watch Soul Eater because I haven't watched it in so
Get
Oh,
long.
into
it's
this
So
good.
one.
I'm like,
Get into this
because I
one.
know I know Fire Force is like in the same universe, if I'm not mistaken, as Soul Eater. And
Hmm.
I watched Fire Force, so I need to okay. Black
Hmm.
Star. But I mean, even with the name and you explaining what you explained, I was like, I can feel it.
Yeah, he's crazy as fuck. But yeah.
Kind of getting off topic since we're talking about anime. What are you watching? What's your favorite anime right now?
Oh, bitch. I mean, there's one that stands out, at least from this new gen, that like JJK. Like that is the one
Hands
for
down.
me. It's just crazy.
Hands
Like,
down.
and what's crazy is like, so fun fact, I do not read any manga. I'm an anime, only girly. So like, I really don't be knowing what's going on. I be coming in every episode blind as shit, and I love that. I actually kind of love that. I like that makes the watching experience so much more fun because I'm like,
It does.
I have no idea what's gonna happen. So like Shibuya, that second arc was just insane. Like I feel like
You
that's what made
fucking
me a
say.
stan. This last season, Culling Game, crazy work. The finale alone was just like insane. So I feel like that is the main one of recent that has just been like, yeah, girl, no one's topping that. But like my all time fave is Bleach. I'm a Bleach girly. You
Top
know,
five.
very excited
Yes.
for the last core to come out. We need that, need that.
Yes.
So that's coming out soon. Very excited for that. I also really love recently Dandadan. That's such a random one, but I really love that one. And I think I
Just
I
like
started
love
that.
that today.
yeah, it
Yes.
was fun. It was funny as fuck. It was
It's
fun. It was campy. The jokes were actually good, and like the fight scenes were good. Animation was good as fuck. And I like how they like mixed like the supernatural with like the alien vibes. Like that was a really cool
Yeah, like a lot
thing.
of
Five.
folklores and mythologies and all
Yeah.
that
it
just
kind of
is
gives
like
me
in
like an
one.
updated version. Oh, I would say it kind of gives me like an updated version of like Mob Psycho, but like with more, like you said, more supernatural
Mm,
elements to it. So,
hmm. Yeah. So like that was a really cool one because I mean, just from my own experience and like with this project, just tying it back to this, like I feel like that's kind of what I did with this project is kind of did like if I were to put it into a world, like the album is kind of like a cyberpunky type vibe. So it mixes like the supernatural and like the fantasy side of things with like a more like techie like robotic feel. So I like how it kind of mixes both of those. So that's a good one. Bleach. What else did I say? What else is another good one that's like top tier for me? I love Cowboy Bebop. That's always been one of my favorites. That's one of the first ones that I watched with Soul Eater. So like I love that one.
mhm.
Attack on Titan, God tier. That
Jesus
that
Christ.
crazy fucking anime.
Don't
But
even
My
remind
God,
me. Good
I'm long
God.
overdue for a rewatch. I'm long
honestly,
overdue for a rewatch.
no, that would be a crazy rewatch. I might have to do the same because like it was just nuts. Um, what else recently? I'm trying to think
I'm gonna
recently.
leave y'all there because I watched it once and I was like, yeah, this was so good. I'm not gonna see this again. I can't put myself through
Really?
that. I can't put
Damn.
myself through that. I cannot
Was
put
it
myself through that
traumatizing?
again. It wasn't even traumatizing. It was a bit traumatizing. It was more so just so overwhelming with emotion
Yeah.
Yeah.
just because of the messaging and then like the social commentary just like on not only the aspects of that world but like how it ties into the real world. The writing in that
It
show
was
is just
nuts.
Top
It was
tier.
crazy.
it's it is crazy. It's
Top
crazy.
tier.
That's why I'm just like so good. Won't see it again. However, I I acknowledge your presence. I acknowledge the iconery. That's not a word,
Yeah.
but
Oh, another recent one that I watched was Hell's Paradise. That's another really good one.
Dang.
that was
That's on
Yeah.
my
good
list. I gotta get
too.
into that.
Good as hell. Yeah, because it's the same production studio as JJK and AOT, so it's like Mappa does not miss to me.
Mm,
They do their big ones every time. So definitely get into that one.
Okay. Okay. I'm
will
gonna have to
do.
get into that one.
Writing all this
Okay.
down.
So kind of jumping back on what we were talking about, because I know I gotta far off.
No, you good.
But because I had listened, I hear anime, my ears perk up.
Well, yeah, same.
um,
Anime.
but I was
No,
gonna
I feel
say,
that.
but so again with this new single, No Name. this being one part of an amazing track list of what's to come, what can the people expect? Are we expecting the same sound? Are we expecting different sounds throughout the entire album? Are we getting a story? You don't have to tell a story, but are we getting a story?
Mhm.
What are we going to see? What are we going to see with our music?
Honestly, and this is just from, I played the album for a few people. Michael's heard the whole thing, and Kavan's heard parts. But it's just like one thing that I have really appreciated that everyone so far has really like expressed upon listening is just how just like engaging the project is. I do like that. And that was very intentional. I wanted people, I think I mentioned this earlier, like I want people to really like, yes, it's fun music. You can play it during your pregame, you can play it in the spur because we all fam. You can play, you can play it like in different settings and just vibe to it. But if
Mhm.
you really sit with the project, like get good headphones, good ones, and just like really sit with every like sonic choice and every lyric of this project, you will be captivated from start to finish. Like I promise you, and it will sound cohesive. It will sound like you're listening to one giant file that just has like a bunch of songs. Because that's how, for me, that's how a album should feel. Great example is Renaissance. Like you can listen to that album from top to finish and not stop it the entire way through because it is engaging from
Mhm.
start to finish. From I'm That Girl to Summer Renaissance, even though I don't play that song. But like I feel like the entire album you can literally just sit and listen to the entire time and just have no breaks. And that is what I desire to do with my work. I've done it with my other EPs, but this one I really have perfected it. So like the what you will get is a full listening experience. You won't feel bored in any song. You won't feel like, oh, okay, well, this is all right. You know what I mean? But every song is different. There are multiple genres. I won't tell you what genres are in it, but like you're gonna get multiple genres and it will all feel very cohesive. So I think that's what makes it interesting, is like you can't really expect what's coming next with each song. And that was intentional with the sequencing.
You feel like this album is like kind of an era, not
It
only in your
is.
life, but just like an era in general of the storytelling in just like the sound cohesiveness on it.
Absolutely is. Yeah, like I got tatted recently, so I'll show you.
Oh.
Can you saw it? Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, so I got like a girl. It's an hourglass. Turn the wig around. It's an hourglass. And like
Okay.
and that's a big thing for me to get the tattoos. Like I only have two beyond this one, and whenever I get a tattoo, I really sit with the concept for a minute. I all my tattoos have meaning, so it's like I really wanted to like chronologize, or is that a word?
Chronology.
Chronologize.
Chronology. It's going to be a
Chronologized.
word today. Like
Chronologize.
I said earlier,
Right.
if he can make up words, we can make up words.
All right, so we're gonna chronologize this era of but like that ass, like I really wanted to like make this not just like a project, but just like what you mentioned, like an era of my life. Because that's what it is. Like it's a coming of age story of just like the past like 5 6 years that I really have like sat with over throughout time. And like obviously my other work has spoken to certain other like topics that are in this project, but not to this extent. And also just not this like completely. So I love that I'm able to show just, my own lived experience coming into my late 20s, but also just like a general shared experience of our generation, of this time period we've been through since COVID. Because, girl, the world ain't been the same since COVID. No shade. No shade
Mm,
whatsoever. All shade,
I feel
actually.
like I feel
Everything's
like we
been a
went through a
fever dream.
portal. COVID
Like
was the
it's just
portal.
been 6 years of just pure chaos. And I just don't think people have really given the space to like just like really sit with that and like understand how that has impacted them and like how they view the world and like their goals and like how they view themselves. And it's definitely shifted mine. My whole worldview has changed since COVID. Fuck. Jesus.
I've become more radicalized. From 2020 to now, I've become more and more radicalized
Yeah, like
Every year.
the world is just
every
not the
year.
same. And like I just think that it just does us again, like I keep using that word disservice because capitalism just does not allow us to be full individuals. Like we are one person, we are one thing in one system that just needs to stay on course for just, get money, get rich, buy, have a family,
Mhm.
build a 401k and die. That's your life. And everything is around money. It's around what you can amass. But it's like, who are you through that? what do you want to leave behind through that? What is your message as a person in this shared collective consciousness of being a human? And I think there are so many systems and religions and just things that like just don't allow us to fully accept every part of ourselves because in the name of productivity, in the name of capital. And it's just like, nah, man, you strip all that back, who are you? And I had to really sit with that. And I think, that was something that I did for myself. And I want people to do that too. Like, I think that's what this project is really about, is just finding who you are, finding your voice, finding your sound, finding your purpose, which is not easy in a world that doesn't like want you to do that. But I think it's important. Like, so we can dance, we can shake ass, which we will do, but also, bitch, get into them
Think a
words.
little.
Get into them words.
Mhm.
Think a
Get into
little.
real
Alexa,
life.
No, for
okay,
real.
Alexa, play "I Was Here" by Beyonce.
Actually, don't play that because the minute she starts
Oh,
singing that, I'm gonna cuss her out.
and see, I swear to God,
Actually, turn this shit
if
off.
I hear that during actual tour, I actually will have problems. I will fly across the stage. Actually,
I'll go on stage myself and take the mic out of her hand.
thank you.
Just a little feral.
Yeah, like yeah, go back to the album, girl. Don't sing that song. Go play with
Anyways,
me. All right, like
drop the
next
Now
confetti,
she's
track.
banned.
fireworks, whatever you're doing.
Yeah, no, yeah, no.
But she's not allowed
I
to do
am
that.
I'm so weak.
She's not allowed to do that. She's not. I'm sorry.
She really
I'm
isn't.
sorry.
No, yeah.
No, it's okay. It's fine. As long as she plays Freakum Dress, that's perfectly fine. I don't give a
That
fuck
that
what
is a
song she
requirement.
plays.
Yeah,
That is not, it's not a requirement. It's literally mandatory.
no, for
As
real.
I say, it's
No,
meant.
for real.
She cannot do the tour without freaking dress. That yeah. I'm
There's
sorry.
no
It has to
way.
be incentive. You
Just like
can't
how Blue was
see
like, you got to do diva. Like you're gonna play diva. Like you have to play diva. And
Yeah,
she
she
was
was
like, I'm
crazy
not
for
gonna keep
that.
it.
She was crazy for
Yeah,
that. To even consider it, like, bitch, don't
because
play
why
with
would
me.
you even think to take Diva out? Let's be so fucking for real. Let's be so for real. Diva is a staple. Diva is its peak, and even with it being peak, you can change it every single time, and every single time she changes it, it gets better and better.
No,
it gets
literally,
It gets
better.
better and
It
better.
hits.
every time.
Literally.
But yeah,
But yeah, no, to like piggyback off what you were saying, like I do definitely feel and see not only the growth, but also just like the mask that you're kind of like opening up, especially from this new album trying
you can this
to
Ichigo.
show though literally trying to show a different side, not even different side, but kind of I guess like all sides in a
Mhm.
time where these type of voices that we need is being shunned by people or trying to be shunned by people, but kind of a sense of like us feeling like we're regressing, more so in the states than anywhere else that I can speak of. So
Yeah,
like I
yeah,
feel like this is definitely a period piece that will be definitely needed to not only speak on the times of today, but also to speak on the experience of a Black queer man person in general. So
yeah.
like,
And I mean, music should be timeless if it is good. Like I think, like any song that is relevant now that came out in the 1990s, 1980s, early 2000s, like those
60s.
songs were like they didn't just speak to just like what was happening that year. They speak to like the human condition. They speak to like even if they're fun. Like a great example is I don't know, like thinking like Butterfly by Mariah Carey. Like I was late to Mariah. I'll be honest, but like when I heard Butterfly, I was like, oh no, I get the hype immediately. Like I was like, no, like this shit is excellent, and like
Mhm.
it's still hitting like it's a brand new album like in 2024, 2025, and it's
Mhm.
like that shows that like she was just very intentional with like the type of music she was making. It was not just like just meant for that era. It was like a classic. And I think for me, I only aspire to no, I mean everything don't got to be a classic. Like we can have fun and just do stupid shit every now and then. But if I'm making a body of work and I want people to like sit with every song in an album, like yeah, I'm gonna make sure each song has intent. Like each song is like a puzzle piece into a whole picture. So each song should feel like it needs to like be able to last longer than 30 seconds or like two TikToks. Like none of my shit is made for TikTok. I make songs that can go on TikTok, but like I don't make songs with the intent of them like going viral. Like when I think that is really the disconnect that we're seeing right now in music, these like last couple of years, but unfortunately, I think because of the pandemic too, is like artists are only making music with the intent to like blow up. And like that's fine, but it has to also be able to withstand that, like virality. Like let's say you go viral. We've seen so many times in concerts where like people will go and like sell out these concerts. They'll go for that one song, they'll record that one part of the hook they love, and then when it finishes, it's dead silent because no one knows anything else.
Like
And that's
Steve
like
Lacy.
that's a crazy experience. If that
I
happened
was
to
about to say
you,
Steve Lacy.
I would like no, like literally, like he's an example of that. I think people did it with like Olivia Dean too, but like her music is I think pretty good. It's like it's not like necessarily
Yeah.
her for like, but I think yeah, when that Steve Lacy song blew up, people were at his concert. They would sing that one line, and then it would just be you could literally hear nothing after. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Like y'all came to a concert for one song, for one part of one song.
Crazy working.
That's crazy. And the least you can do is like, if you like the one song, that's where you found them. Cool, that's fine. At least go explore the rest of the fucking album. Like, at least do that. Like, for me, that's where it's like, that's where I don't ever want to be at. Like, I want to make sure that my music is cohesive enough to where, like, yes, let's say No Name does her big one, which I'm
Hmm.
claiming that. But like, you know what I'm saying? Even if it doesn't, bitch, you got still 11 other songs that could do that. But even if only
Yeah.
one of those is like a breakout, you should still be able to go to my project and be able to listen like, oh no, this makes sense with everything else that you put in there. With that one song, I can still vibe and jam to the rest of the album. It's not just like
Hmm.
one song that was made to go viral and then the rest of the album is like throwaways.
Period. I was saying weddings, funerals, birthday parties. It's
Right.
going to be played on the front line.
Inaugurations, all of them.
I'm
Regular
screaming.
business meetings.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's gonna be the hold music whenever you call what you call it whenever you
I'm
call
screaming,
whenever you
not
call
customer
in
service
to pay
music.
your phone bill whenever you're
Customer
trying
service
to figure
music.
out what's wrong you're gonna hear no
Elevator
name you're gonna hear
music.
doo 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 doo
Right, 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 right.
doo
It can even I can let it be played in Coles. You know what I mean? If there are still Coles around in 2 years, put that bitch in Coles. You know?
Being a Sears.
A
not
good Sears
hilarious.
moment, TJ Maxx, Home Goods. Bitch, yes.
I'm
Oh, I can see it.
crazy. But no, Miles, it really was a pleasure to have you here.
Yes.
Y'all go stream Jameson's music. Jameson, where can the people find you?
Yes, so you can find me on all socials. My at is the same everywhere. It is Jameson.444. So you spell it JAMYSON.444. And that is me on Instagram, TikTok. I also just dropped a music video for my lead single, Someone New. I dropped that like 3 months ago. So it was fully shot by myself and my friends. Mike also helped me with that. He's also a cameo in there. But yeah, so like, right.
Gotta fix
Exactly,
the
exactly,
hair.
exactly.
Making her
Um,
debut.
right, right.
Right.
Um,
I'm gonna start acting. Yeah.
yeah, do it. You did good, bitch. Listen, you ate that up with no
Hey,
direction.
look, Doja Cat was in Rebecca Black's Friday music video, and look at her now.
Was
So,
she?
no, she
Wait, she
was.
was?
She was a literal cameo in Friday, the song that everybody talks shit about, and then now look at Doja Cat.
That's
So
such a random woman. She's so
Yes.
random.
Mikey's
Like
random as fuck too. So
the real.
Listen, I love Amala now. Oh my gosh. I did not even know that. I'm screaming.
That's funny.
Hmm.
But yes, go follow me. Go stream my music. I have 3 projects out, and I have well three projects, 3 EPs, and then 2 other singles, Parasite and Villain, and then 3 EPs to listen to. So yeah, how many songs is that? That's
All good.
5, 6, 11. Carry the two. It's like 17 songs, girl. Just go find my page and listen.
Y'all have music. Y'all have music.
But it's the
A
new one's coming
plentiful.
soon. It's coming.
So yes. But also by the time this stops as well, stream No Name and be on the lookout for something new. I was trying to be clever with it because I was like someone new, but I was like something new. But I was just like,
You made
I don't
that.
think some of the audience get it. But you know, so
It's
go listen
okay.
to
It's
someone new
okay.
and then come
Keep
back
putting them
to the
together, you
end.
know?
And
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
But
Right, 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 right,
it
right.
was a pleasure. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming on to Geek.
Yes,
We
thank you
Thank y'all for
so
love
having me.
much.
This
you.
is fun.
We
Of
are
course,
going
of
to give
course.
you your flowers. I wish I had physical flowers. Um, so expect these on the actual day. I'll give you. There we go. I'll give you physical flowers. I
Oh,
think it's a
thank you.
card somewhere. But yeah. Love you lots. And go stream. And like you said, follow at Jameson.444 on Instagram, TikTok, all the socials. And
Where the
also, don't forget
hell
to
can we
follow.
follow you at, Mikey?
That's it. That is that. So you can follow me on TikTok and Instagram and Threads and Blue Sky or wherever you at. I'll say, but it's all the same at Jermaine JVRMAINEE. Where can they find you, Tabby B?
You can find me on TikTok at Pete the Geekologist. You can find me on Blue Sky at Cavassier. You can find me on Instagram at heavy.shoots. Do I post as much as I should? No, but this is an entryway. This is me affirming, speaking, manifesting, all those things to be on the
Right.
lookout, not only for more stuff from me, but also more stuff from Mikey. And of course, more stuff from our lovely guest, Mr. Jameson. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been the first episode back, an interview back for Geeked. And y'all have a good day. Have a good week. Be awesome. Stay black, protect your magic, and do nothing without attention. And please
And
remember, motherfuckers ain't stopping you. Hyper
up a
town, per
town, up a
town, per
town, up a
town,
town,
per
up a
town.
Peace, y'all. Peace, y'all.
town.